We're recording, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of yours and us, the postcard.
Yours and ours, the podcast is back for another episode.
Yeah.
Now,
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yes. How you feel today?
Guys, I've got my girlies, as we call it in Australia, and I've been very emotional this week.
My girlie.
I've got my girlies, we're running, we're surfing the crimson wave, as they would say it. I know this is TMI, too much information, but we're all adults here. How fucked are periods? They're really horrible, especially when you're an emotional wreck most of the time, like me. So normally an emotional wreck,
Yeah, you're having a bad moment, no?
crying on the street, crying in the house, crying in the shower. I went and did my dance class last night. I couldn't get the steps properly. Every muscle in my body hurts. And I wanted to cry in dance class. I can't stop thinking about this cookie that we saw at this independent grocer that I want to eat. And I've been craving ice cream and chocolate now all week, haven't I?
Yeah.
And if I look different, it's because I refuse to drive all the way to Kuta to go to Sephora. So I'm currently using mascara as an eyebrow hold and eyebrow pencil.
What's the difference?
A lot of difference. There's
Why?
a lot of difference. An eyebrow pencil is like a wax base, kind of like a crayon, and it draws on the skin and it doesn't run, doesn't sweat off. It's like a waterproof type vibe. This is mascara. This is not a waterproof mascara. Also, my hair isn't black, but I've got black mascara on my eyebrows. And this is out of protest because, one, the grocery stores here aren't like your regular Coles or your Woolies or your Mercadona where you can rock up there, walk in and there's like a section of cosmetics. They don't have anything here. There's Sephora in Kuta, which is an hour's drive away, and I'm not fucking going.
Wow, I miss so much Mercadona.
Mercadona.
Mercadona, guys, is the Coles of Spain.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, or the Tesco of UK.
Yeah.
Or in America, I don't know.
Like a Trader Joe's. Yeah, like a Trader Joe's. Like you've got regular.
like-
It's a grocery store.
I like the Pepito market in Indonesia.
Yeah, so we're going to the Pepita. We already know about this. The Pepita market, they just make up their prices. Each individual store might be slightly different.
Well, because today I'm gonna be I'm not gonna talk more than usually because I'm
You're
gonna
going to talk less than usual is what you mean to say.
Yeah, because today we start like this, but
I have the floor.
we really
I'll explain something to you guys.
this week happened something to us to destroy ourselves.
Yeah.
To Kiki because the thing happened, and to me because I feel embarrassed about some things in my country happened. Some things they are done in my country.
You're embarrassed for your nationality because the Spanish culture and the way of doing things has come under question. And you being a Spanish person, a citizen, born and bred there, it's made you go, I am embarrassed of my countrymen
Yeah.
for them to do this to another human being because
So-
they're not from Spain.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you guys maybe didn't know, well, you guys don't know, but yesterday we filmed the podcast, but the sound wasn't recorded.
Our microphones weren't working yesterday. We had to film it all over again
because
today.
yesterday we did the podcast, maybe today we feel a little bit more
Rehearsed.
free because we say
Well, we spoke about a lot of things, so now we know what we want to talk about. Yesterday,
Yeah.
like we do every podcast, we don't have a script. Twitter's here to chat with you guys, tell about, our day-to-day lives.
But something happened.
But in this instance, we actually have a life-altering moment that has kind of changed the course of our immediate future because of this outcome of this particular situation.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to explain it?
Exactly.
I know I always have to sound really
So-
technical, but that's just how I talk.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
guys, I know that obviously all around the world, no matter where you're watching from, like it is no secret that we are, as a globe, as a worldwide community, facing a financial crisis in the cost of living and all these things. And money has become, it's come under scrutiny because you don't get as much for your dollar these days, et cetera, et cetera. Now, when something like a €4,000 security bond that you pay when you move into a property is secured, it's there to protect the best interest of the owner and also you secure the property that way. We've just moved out of our property in Ibiza, as you know. I rented that property in December of 2022, moving in March or the end of February 2023. Secured it, paid the deposit, paid the entire rent up front. €24,000 up front, €4,000 security bond up front, €2,000 agency fee up front. That is like 60-something thousand Australian dollars directly from my bank account. Now, we move into the property at the end of February 1st, maybe March 1st, I think it was. There's a few, minor bits and pieces wrong with it, wear and tear as you would call it, a couple of scuff marks on the kitchen benches, a few things here and there. I signed the condition report, we move in. From the first week or two, a few things are wrong, kind of a bit clunky, dishwasher issues, electrical issues. Report things as they come up to our real estate agent, the manager that looked after our property. Some things got fixed, some things didn't get fixed. Anyway, you would have seen our property. You see it on all our Instagram posts. You saw it on our podcast. So that was our first set. For the most part, everything was fine. We learnt to deal with the problems that were happening within the property. When we go to move out, I hire 2 cleaners, 2 ladies, 5 hours. So that's 10 hours total of cleaning by 2 women. That cost me €500, quite expensive. €500 is about 800 something Australian dollars, quite expensive for cleaners. But obviously, I wanted to leave the property in the best condition. I actually arrived early before handing the keys back, helped the 2 cleaners also clean. We're excited we're moving to Bali. However, my property agent, she's recently been employed at the agency, arrives early, which stops my cleaners from finalising the rest of their duties, which I paid them for. She arrives about 40 minutes early. The ladies kind of pack up and leave. I give them, I pay them, they girls go. I leave the property early, handing the keys back from, maybe 20 or 30 minutes earlier than I'd like to. The agency say everything looks great. I get an email 2 weeks ago while we're here in Bali during Nyepi, and it says, "Hi, Kirli, I would like to, let you know that after the condition report of the property was done, you are due to pay the owner €5,300 for the damage that was the sustained damages to the property while you were living there." And I was just taken back and completely aghast. Tell me what state I was in, baby.
Baby.
I was beside myself.
I remember I was having dinner and he appeared crying, saying, "You are not going to believe this."
I can't believe it.
And not even they are going to take the security bond.
They want more.
Expect her to pay more, but not more like €100, like
1,300 euros, which is like 2,200 Australian dollars. So they wanted not only my 4,000 security bond, also another 1,300. And they sent me photos and images that the workman that came into the property, who works for the owner of the property, who kind of manages all of his investment properties, because this guy's got like 6 or 7 investment properties in Ibiza. He owns them, rents them out. The same situation with other tenants. He said, all this damage had been sustained. Now, I have photos of the day that I checked in, and half of the things that were photographed on the day I checked in were things that they were requesting me to fix and pay for out of my own money. A few things that were sustained whilst I was there that I have reported. There was a faulty shower head. It was actually a piece. If you go to Bunnings in Australia, you can get the little kind of plastic shower fixtures that you could screw into the wall. Well, these guys, because they didn't want to screw into the tiles, have super glued it with waterproof glue onto the wall. Now, at some point in the first month or two, that shower that cracked down the middle had been glued back together. They were trying to suggest that costs us hundreds of euros to replace. It's a piece of plastic that was glued to the wall. Then our kitchen bench, which had been freshly lacquered, had started to peel within the first week. I know nothing about woodwork, but I do know that if you don't allow enough time between coats, it doesn't, just like if you don't leave enough time for your nails to dry, girls. Any woman up there knows that if you don't let the second coat dry and then you put a top coat on, it's going to peel off. Basically, the lacquer started peeling off the table within the first 2 weeks. I have photographs from the 12th of March, exactly 10 days after moving in, it starts to peel off. They're suggesting that I had to pay for that. And numerous other things in the house that had nothing to do with me, like condensation from the air conditioning vents, around the bathroom sink where we brush our teeth. There was a matte paint on the walls. I don't think it's been waterproofed. I don't think it's been primed because things like a speck of blue toothpaste stained the walls. They're suggesting they had to repaint the entire house because of a strip of paint in the wall in the bathroom where, of course, you're going to go and brush your teeth. Basically, they wanted to try and take me for everything. Now, for the past month, I have been fighting back and forth with the real estate agency, that the property manager that managed our property, the agency owner, and the owner of the property, suggesting that I have to pay for all these things. Now, the things that they send us photos of were, our lounge was a piece of untreated wood that was fixed to the wall with like a cushion into it. They had removed the section of the lounge off it, turned the wall around that was normally glued to the wall, and said, there's a crack in it. Like, she has to pay for this too. Like, I'm telling you, if anything they could get me for, they've gotten me for. And because we're not living in Spain at the moment, they know that we're currently in Bali. They also know that I haven't got a permanency residency approved yet in Spain. They know that if I want to fight this, I'm going to need to get a lawyer, and I'm going to have to go back to Spain and go to court. As the owner of our property is a lawyer himself, the security bond is €4,000, which is incredibly high for a rental property in Spain, but he specifically has made it that so that if there is a court dispute required, I will need to go into a courthouse with my own lawyer. I can't, what's the word for it? I can't look after myself. I can't go there and be my own lawyer. You've got to hire someone. He is a lawyer, so he can actually be there for himself. And basically, yeah, they said there's no negotiating. We're taking all this money off you. So for the past month, I have been fighting with images, photos, text messages, everything, more or less being treated like a criminal, being treated as if a person that I moved into a house.
And also, last week, they come back with another payment.
Yeah.
They were expecting of Kiki paying it.
Oh yeah, I got another notification saying that I have to pay for laundry of the sheets, towels, pillows, and doonas and comforters that I left in the house for the next tenant, because when I moved in, it was empty. It's supposed to be a furnished apartment. I spent over €1,000 buying really good quality bamboo cotton sheets, towels, extra comforters, 6 pillows, as there was only 1 pillow when you moved in to sleep on. I said the new tenant can have it, that I'll give it to the owner as a gift. And then they said, well, you need to pay to launder it all. Even though I had already laundered it all myself in the house, was there the day that the agent came in to get the keys back off me. It was just an absolute shit fight. Like, really, like, illegal, like inhumane, just unjust treatment of a tenant. And more or less, everything that I had reported to my property agent was undermined. They said we don't have record of it, none of these things.
They tried with image
Of photos of things that were damaged before I moved in.
Exactly, and we needed.
And I had to go back through and prove it. Like, you sent me this on this date with this image. It was basically horrible. And the parties involved, the owner of the agency, and the property manager all should be fucking ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
Like, this owner is incredibly wealthy man with several investment properties within Ibiza, and he is relying upon the opinion of his trusted workman, whose quote to lacquer a table was €3,000. Like, we know that a 1 meter long wooden table isn't going to cost €3,000 to lacquer. In fact, you could go out and buy a whole brand new dining table for that cost, plus other furnishings in somewhere like Ibiza. Like, we bought furniture, we know the cost. Like, this guy is robbing the owner by giving him an inflated quote, knowing that it's going to fall back onto me. So everyone is at fault here as far as I'm concerned, and I feel really badly taken for granted. The system was never put in place to protect the tenant. It's only there to protect the owner.
Yeah.
The owner himself, I'm pretty sure, wrote the fucking contract because he is a lawyer. And because I'm so used to renting in Australia, where yeah, we have rules and regulations, but we also have a clause called fair wear and tear, where the degradation or the deterioration of a property because of it's been lived in comes under the cost of the owner, like scuff marks, worn carpet, chip paint, cracked paint, those kind of things that are immediately because of your living in that property that you're paying rent for. The owner covers that. Well, in Spain, no. You as the tenant, you have no rules. There's nothing there to protect you. So I really feel like I want to let everybody know that if you are considering renting in another country, make sure that you do anything you can to protect yourself, because I have had, more or less, I've been robbed. People have come directly into my bank account and stolen almost 6,000 Australian dollars directly from me. 6,000 Australian dollars, that's my money that I worked very hard for. That I already spent an inflated amount of money on a weekly rent to live in that property, while having every single one of my requests for maintenance ignored. Several times the electricity went off, several times there was water issues, several times there was dishwasher problems. Nothing ever got tended to. And yet I paid an exorbitant amount of rent to live there. And then on top of all of that, now my security bond's been taken. So I will suggest, if you are going to move to a place such as Europe, make sure that you check your real estate agency contract with a lawyer in that country, not an Australian lawyer, so that you know that the rules are met correctly, and also make sure you get everything translated correctly, because translation can also be a little bit funny, and you may not understand the words like in the Spanish translation into English as well as you think you do, and you may get fucked just like I just did. And I don't want that for anybody, because $6,000 is a lot of money to anyone, especially at this time of our financial crisis that we're going across worldwide. And that's just come out of my pocket. That's food out of my mouth. That's money that I could use to support the economy here in Bali, because that would be what I'd be living off. So I feel like I've been robbed. So the real estate agency in which that we rented through, I always had a really great rapport with them, always very friendly, always like first name basis, laughing, joking, etc., until it comes down to the professional end of things, and I had no support from them. Repeatedly, all they said was, it's your responsibility to return the keys back and the property be in the same state in which you rented it. But I believe under the circumstances, if the property wasn't maintained correctly, like let's say the table wasn't lacquered correctly, or the gyprock on the wall wasn't done correctly and it cracked over time due to moisture, or the lacquer peeled over time during usage. If you put a plate or a cup or even your hand down, it would peel off. I think that means that I'm not responsible for that. So if anyone out there actually works in things like carpentry, if you see that your lacquer is peeling off a table within the first 2 weeks of you lacquering it, would you say it's the person using the table's problem, or would you say it's the job that was done on the table in the first place? Because I believe it's meant to be durable for people to sit and eat off on a daily basis. So what do you think, babe?
I mean, like you explain everything. I'm gonna play now by my side.
Yeah.
It's right. Like we were using the house like normal tenants.
Like a house.
Like we were living in Patio Blanco, which is a place of it's a party apartments
an apartment
Ibiza,
block in the very busy
everyone
precincts.
Who goes there are summer rentals who are gonna destroy the house
because they're doing
and we
party
were maybe the 1-2% of the people who rent an apartment for yearly, and we were living normal. We didn't need any problem. We were treat really good the guards of the apartment. Everything was normal. Kiki and me, we were having the year we were living in Ibiza, the most healthy year of our lives. I don't
think we had like maybe 4 late nights in the entire year.
Exactly. And the table, the problems are, they say that, for example, in the table, bro, if you are eating in a table, of course it's gonna be used.
Yeah, but the thing is, if let's say you're sitting down at a table and the lacquer is peeling off it because you simply put a plate on it, but it's not lacquered properly.
Let's see, all right, you are true, you are right. We need to pay the expenses of what we use. Maybe it will be 300, 400, 500 euros maximum.
Yeah.
They were expecting in the beginning to take all the security bond, which is 4,000 euros, plus more expenses, more costs, plus the cleaner of things Kiki gives to us to them for free. Right? Then because I know one person in this type of job in Ibiza who knows the owner of that agency, they put everything in that group chat, and because Kiki demonstrate a lot of things,
I showed them a lot of things. All right, said, okay, we'll give you back 1,000 euros.
1,000 euros, but we take the 3,000 euros. It's our last word.
That's our last negotiation.
And if you want something, you need to go to court, and because yes, the owner of the apartment is a lawyer, he don't need to.
He doesn't need anyone to represent him, but like, I would need representation.
Everything was manipulated. Everything was called.
It was always going to land in his best interest, because it was manufactured that way. The contract was manufactured to only fall in the best interest of the owner. I mean, never once did they repair any of the things I reported as faulty, but then they tried to charge me for them and say, well, you know, but again, like, I'm sorry, if your shower head and your plumbing is leaking, why do I have to pay for it? If your dishwasher has stopped working after the first load of dishes we did, why do I have to pay for it?
Yeah.
If your intercom has never worked in the building since we've lived here, why do I have to repair it? If there are things that are photographed in the condition report the day I moved in, which means they were damaged before I moved in, why the fuck do I have to pay for it? Like, I'm sorry, but get fucked. You're thieves and you're horrible. And I believe that in our job, that in all aspects of our life, we have to do it with a level of integrity. And now, in my roles, in my previous jobs, when I know the customer was right, or if I know that something was done incorrectly by a teammate or something like that in my position, my integrity and my professionalism will kick in and go, hang on a second, we need to rectify this problem for the good of the client. Because as a business, as as someone that wants to be respected within the industry, we have to call a spade when the wrong thing's been done, and we have to rectify that. I've worked in telecommunication companies, Telstra, NBN Co. When things aren't done correctly, the first people to put their hands up and say, yes, we didn't deliver on what we promised that we would, etc., etc. I wasn't given a house that was in a livable condition because things weren't repaired correctly, and those pre-existing problems showed their face back up again during my tenancy, and they thought, haha, she didn't know this fucked up before she moved in here. Now it's fucked up while she's here. We can blame her for it and we'll get her bond for that on the next time. Like, that is a lack of professional integrity. And I believe that anyone that lives their life with such lack of integrity, eventually it's going to catch up with them. And I hope that it does very soon, because all of the people involved in what happened to me and my security bond being taken are all responsible.
Yeah.
They've all had a complete lack of compassion, humanity, and integrity. And I'm absolutely disgusted, especially knowing how many times I reported problems, and even me showing them the reports that I wrote to the previous property agent before he quit and went somewhere else. They ignored them and more or less made out like I was crazy, more or less made out like I was some kind of animal, some kind of criminal, what have you. But it's utterly disgusting. So, so I'm fucking fuming.
Like we said in the beginning, to me as Spanish, I feel so embarrassed and so sad because Kiki, in the beginning, he moved to Ibiza to be with me. We took the first step to be together because we were thinking Ibiza was the place. I was living there. And we found this apartment we're really, really happy.
Yeah. Like, no questions down. I just transferred a lump sum of money and had to wait 6 weeks for the owner to sign the contract and give it back to us. So I was in a position where I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen? Like, this guy was just so unprofessional, so entitled, so arrogant to think that we are just some holiday renters and he can take us for a ride and treat us like we are indebted to him because we are renting his property. Like, he's giving us some kind of fucking charity. And I mean, what a fucking asshole.
And not gonna lie, for me that apartment, I hate it always. But
you always hated that apartment.
I have good memories there, and was our first
home. It was our
home
first home together. Yeah.
And because they know he's a foreigner in Spain and he's also now out of Spain.
And I'm now in Bali.
They said, all right, we can do whatever we want.
She can't come back to get her money back and she can't argue it with us. And even if I did, for a court date and to then pay for legal representation, it could take years. So it's either like, take the money that we're going to give you now and be grateful for the €1,000.
Exactly.
Because otherwise we'll take all of it and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like, these people knowing, like I said, current financial crisis worldwide.
But guys, I need to say something.
Sorry, baby, you're very heavy.
I was asking to other friends, our foreigners, who were living in Ibiza, and to all the happened that the owners take the security bonds. I asked the other day in my group chat of my friends, and to all they took the security bonds. So
it must be some fucking hidden secret. Like, hey guys, as a country, let's fuck over all the tourists that decide to let's make out with extra money. Let's get extra money, extra bang for our buck, because people are moving to our country. They're coming here as tourists. They're coming here, and we're injecting money into your economy. Yet still, that's not enough for you guys.
I'm not gonna say country, all right? Because Ibiza for me is not all Spain representative.
No, but I don't know.
Right?
It's just such a bad taste in my mouth.
But I'm gonna say For example,
Ibiza.
Ibiza is a place
Scammers.
for me. After all this happened, I never want to come back again because I feel it's a trap for tourist people. It's a trap also for Spanish people who want to go there just for like.
Even if you want to live in Ibiza and you're a Spanish person, the cost
Exactly.
of living there for you is the same cost as us as tourists, which is like, let's say, 3 times more expensive than living anywhere else.
Exactly, and don't expect
And the quality of living's not better.
No.
They don't fix the streets. There's potholes. There's crime.
The houses are
there's shit
cheap.
everywhere.
It's the materials of the houses, but all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, after all this, we were thinking to go in July to Ibiza, and honestly, I thought to Kiki yesterday, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
I honestly don't think that I would like to go either. And I feel like I'm the kind of person, I'm a very tolerant person. I'm a very polite and patient person. But once I am pushed to a certain point, I was really angry with these real estate agents. I bared my soul and showed my vulnerability and how disappointed I was and how unjust and how unfair it was. And for them to treat me the way they treated me, after I'd been so patient, so tolerant. Stop playing with that baby. Stop it!
Sorry.
He's playing with the coffee table.
That's it.
No, because you're going to knock it over.
No, that's.
Because it's going to show up.
All right,
and put
sorry.
your fucking feet on the ground. Pissing me off. To be so vulnerable in that situation and explain to them that, you know, this money is not their money to keep and it's incredibly unfair. And for them to go, oh, well, you should have just left it in the same seat you found it. What are you suggesting then? Let's say her name's Jane. Jane, what are you suggesting? I go down to the local hardware and buy a fucking disc sander and sand the table back myself and then fucking lacquer it? What are you suggesting? Me to rip up the tiles in the bathroom because the water leaks down behind it because the washer is all rusted inside the wall cavity? You want me to rip the tiles out and do a little DIY myself? Like, are these people fucking normal? That's what they're there for. The whole point of an owner with insurance on their house and the whole point of the contract is that with the deterioration of the property, the owner is there to keep it in a livable condition for the tenant. So anyway, as you can probably see, I'm very fucking angry. I've cried all week. I've cried all month. I've fought. I've defended myself, fighting in a group chat with people that literally didn't care what I said, even no matter how much photographic and video proof I had. Literally at every turn, well, that's too bad. That's so bad. Not enough. That's not good enough. So we're really angry. And I just want to be the voice of reason to anyone that's going to go and live in another country. Make sure that you put all necessary kind of contingency plans at play when you move in. Photograph everything. Make a record of everything.
Yeah.
Because at any given time, you will get fucked over and you will get robbed just like I did.
Because Kiki did that, we have 1,000 euros back.
The only reason why I was so lucky because I broke my phone in Australia, remember? And some of my photos and things like that didn't come over. All my WhatsApp conversations didn't come back over. If I didn't find a particular string of photos and videos that were saved in my phone, I searched it via area and I found Ibiza and found these 2 videos that had luckily backed up on the cloud, I wouldn't have been able to prove it. So I'm really lucky that I did. So I got 1,000 euros back out of 4,000 euros. So these fucking snakes, these filthy fucking leeches have managed to keep 5,500 Australian dollars. That belongs to me because this rich old prick didn't want to pay for the repairs of his fucking property himself out of his own pocket because he's in fact like the aforementioned rich old prick that he is. So fuck him. Can we all get a collective together as a group? You guys at home, fuck that guy. Yeah. So anyway, now that that's out in the open, I need like a stiff drink and like to go and punch him back. I'm so angry.
You did good, babe.
Thanks.
And yeah,
so fucking angry.
We had a really bad week.
Shit week.
I was all the time thinking,
like the world is against us. It feels like it feels like bad luck comes in threes. As soon as things get good, something comes along to fuck it up. And the ability for me to always stay positive is something I really pride myself on and I really love. But it's getting really hard, isn't it, baby, to stay positive?
Yeah, don't say that because honestly, you can say Kiki more upset today, but I'm way more negative than her, and she's always positive, and she's always giving to me pep talks all the time, because I don't know, I'm so negative since we arrived to Bali. everything is happening in a bad way.
Yeah, things have been going, unfortunately, like whoever's got my voodoo doll out there, can you fucking take the needle out of my heart and maybe just squeeze my boob a little bit while you're at it and just give me a little shoulder rub and put me on the right path, because we're sick of this bad luck shit.
Like last week, I was so sick.
Yeah, he had Bali belly really badly.
Bali belly in there.
And then food poisoning.
Like in all
back to back. Food poisoning, Bali belly.
Yeah, I was so sick all the time in the bedroom. We guys found the ticket for Kina Music, but we are not gonna go.
We're gonna go to Kina Music tonight, even though it was sold out. We're gonna get tickets, but it's literally got to the point where it's like we are so maxed out of emotion that the concept of getting ready, getting in a go-kart, driving all the way up to Surveyor, dealing with like 10,000 people at this event, it's too overwhelming. Like we are at max capacity of emotions right now.
Yeah, it's like I feel I don't deserve it.
We've had a really shit week. But in saying that, we have been working with a really good gym that you would have seen on our Instagram. We've been using their facilities and using the ice bath and using the sauna, which kind of helps lift our spirits a little bit. Ice bath is really good for the endorphins. We're still on our path to healthy, mental health and well-being. I'm still doing my retreats coming up in the end of May, beginning of June will be my first one. Then after that, we're going to announce dates for Jorge's one. And they're going to be monthly, for the indefinite future. And also Jorge is still looking for a few more people on the team for a 12-week challenge. If anyone out there wants to get in the best shape of their life, have him as your coach. He's the best. So get in touch on Instagram. But guys, we just keep on keeping on at this moment, like two little Energizer bunnies. Like, get knocked down 7 times, stand up 8, or whatever the fucking saying is. I don't even know at this point.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep getting up.
Yeah, I was long time just in the comfort zone at home, and for the first time I took the decision to go out, and everything is really fucking difficult.
Yeah, it's the real world. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
The hits just keep on coming at this point. And yeah.
Like, do you remember how fun was just being at home doing Spanglish?
But the thing was, that was always coming to an end, because it was either, again, another thing, let's go back to talk about this fucking dodgy prick. When he signed my residency to say that I lived in his house so I could get my residency in Spain, he tried to blackmail me into signing and paying for another year in advance. He more or less said, if you want to legally reside in my house, even though I've already accepted your money and you've been living there for 6 months, if you want me to state for the record that you live here so that you can be a resident in Spain, you need to sign on to my property for another year for more money per year, and I need you to pay it up front now. And I was like, excuse me? Like, I'm not some 22-year-old dumb fuck. Like, that's fucking blackmail. And then everyone in the real estate agency started to panic, and they were like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. So it's like, we were never going to stay in Ibiza, given the circumstances of how incredibly corrupt the rental kind of realm is there, isn't it? Like, get fucked.
Get fucked.
You prick. Like, I'd love to have the guy's phone number, even though he wouldn't be able to understand me, but
yeah, because he didn't talk English.
He didn't speak English, but he was a fucking criminal, basically. So, yeah. So that's all the bad news. The good news is we're still positive. Good news is the health retreats are almost complete.
Yeah, we are healthy. We are training a lot, working.
Yeah.
The retreat of Kiki is going good. Me is going good. But all the emotional things are...
Yeah. But this is a prime example of, I think, like, we're all fucking human, and you never know what another person is going through. Like on Instagram, where, we're at this beach and we're at a restaurant and we're doing this and we're doing that. We're creating content for our clients, which are restaurants and venues and all that stuff, because that's our job. But behind the scenes, we're dealing with our own thing. And yes, I know it sounds like first world problems, because we know that there is so much conflict in the world going on right now. Specifically, my heart goes out to all of the Palestinian people. I very publicly stand with Palestine and the people of Gaza, and I'm very much against the genocide that's being currently committed by the Zionist regime, which is Benjamin Netanyahu, who it's absolutely utterly disgusting, and I relate to it so much, coming from my Indigenous background of being an Aboriginal, we also endured and experienced our own genocide here in Australia when the British settled and colonised Australia. So I know exactly what it feels like. So I almost feel guilty by complaining about my first world problems right now. But nonetheless, they still are happening, and people will take advantage of the minority no matter how they can. Whether it's this fucking real estate agency and the owner taking advantage of us, or it's somewhere else in the world. Like, we need to be more tolerant of each other and more caring and understanding and loving and supporting, because everyone is fighting their own battle and they're trying to do it in a way to keep it close to their chest, because unfortunately things on the internet, as soon as someone sees someone's weakness on the internet, things like Instagram, people revel in going for the jugular and they jump on the bandwagon, and before you know it, you know, what a post was out to motivate and help people, someone will find the negative in that and then start attacking the person that made the post. Like, I'm just so sick of seeing us, the human race, go at each other and try and destroy each other when we really should be supporting each other. So, like I said, I know this is a first world problem and it might be a little bit tone deaf given the current political climate we're in right now.
Yeah, but this is our podcast.
But this is something that I just, the underlining message is that be fucking kind to each other. Don't take advantage of other people. Don't be cunts. Bottom line is, don't be cunts. It's very simple.
Nah.
If you wouldn't like something to be done to you, don't do it to another person. If you wouldn't be okay with this happening to you, my message to the real estate, to the owner of the property, don't do it to someone else. Like, let's just be nicer fucking people. It's just easy.
Life is savage right now.
Yeah, and I don't like it. I'm not equipped to fucking deal with it. For the savagery and the unfairness of so many people, I'm not emotionally equipped to deal with how cutthroat human beings can be. It's fucking scary. Like, I see it every day on Instagram and social media. People just ripping people apart in the comment section and all that kind of stuff. Like,
The comment sections nowadays
Are
of Instagram
savage.
are savage.
and it makes me really fucking sad. Like, I get the nastiest comments being written on my YouTubes about me showing Bali. Like, fake plastic surgery, fake boobs. Like, yeah, get over it. No fucking shit, Sherlock. You can go and see me get my lips and Botox done. I don't hide it. If you have nothing positive to say, get the fuck off my page. What are you doing here? Walk on. Stay in your lane. Fuck off. You know? Take your negative energy and stick it up your ass. Don't you agree, baby?
Hurry.
Like, stay in your motherfucking lane, people. People are so rude.
So rude.
Yeah. But anyway, if you haven't seen the latest episodes of our individual YouTubes, head over to the channels.
Yeah.
They have been quite popular. And we find them funny and entertaining. And they aren't meant to be a travel agency show. It's literally Bali through our eyes, through our experience of what we're doing on our day-to-day lives. True, it's just a vlog, video diary.
Yeah, mine you're not gonna understand it because you are in
In
Spanish.
Spanish. But if you speak
And
Spanish,
maybe next week or in 2 weeks we are gonna bring our
first guest.
first guest.
So I have a very good friend that lives here in Bali.
We always say the same.
What?
We always say maybe in the next week we are gonna
No,
try.
but the thing is, it's about, like, again, we need to also be mindful. Like, we are not a big name podcast. People have got their own lives, their own schedules, and they're very fucking busy. We don't expect them to drop everything to come here. But I have a friend, or actually two friends. They're a couple. They're in a relationship. They're also business owners. They're very successful business. They're based here in Bali. Their business has gone gangbusters worldwide, and they have got their products on some of the most well-known celebrities and sports people across the world. They are going to be on here. We're going to be talking about, you know, living internationally from your own home country, being in a relationship and working with your partner, having children, raising children, and creating an empire. Hoping that's going to help motivate some people to chase their dreams, follow their dreams, you know, take the leap, leave the country, take the leap, start the business.
Yeah.
All those kind of things, because the whole point of us being here is for your entertainment and for your, I guess, inspiration, motivation, and just to have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that deep. But in the case of real estate, it is that deep. So if you guys have been through this shit like we've been through, please let us know. Write in and let us know, because I just think that there needs to be more, I guess, clauses in play and structured into contracts in order to protect the real estate
You know what?
renter.
You know what will change our life 100%?
What?
If you come back to the challenge.
Yeah, let's get behind me coming back to the challenge. I've been training a lot. I mean, I should start running with you, but I haven't started yet.
That's
been
how
really
I
bad.
guys.
I said I need to start running with you. I didn't say I
you need to
have.
start running with
I'm not
me.
fucking lying. I don't lie, but I'm saying I need to start running with you. I haven't started yet. I've had some injuries. I've had a really bad back. Now I've got my period. fucking just depressed as well. Like, I don't want to do shit. It's too fucking hot.
Yeah, for example, the guys running on me is going really good. I'm
Congratulations.
being an athlete.
I've been dancing though.
It's true. Guys, go to
And I've been dancing in Russian.
goes to her reels dancing and say something because
I've been dancing.
support her.
I've been dancing.
I-
I've been going to a Russian school for dance, and
Yeah.
I'm still not very good at dancing, and I still don't know any Russian.
It's the best, baby.
It's so good. But yeah, so we're training for the marathon. I'm watching. You are training.
I'm training for a marathon.
I'm training to be the best cheerleader. Woo!
I mean, I would love that. The day I'm gonna do the marathon,
Where are we doing it?
I'm gonna hire in Madrid. I'm gonna hire a photographer, a videographer.
He's gonna.
Yeah, follow me. And when I'm gonna arrive to the end, Kiki's gonna be waiting for
I'm
me.
gonna spear tackle him 2 minutes before he gets to the end, and he
we are
never
gonna-
finishes the race.
Exactly, we are.
Like, you know when you see those big hit ups on the NRL, like the best of the best football, and you just see some guy running with a ball, and then someone just come in and go meow and tackle him. You're gonna be this close to the finish line, and I'm gonna come running through and tackle you, and you're not gonna make it.
Why?
So technically, you don't finish.
So far.
It's a joke.
No, but look,
It's a joke.
My idea was to ride to the end, and he was here and there and hug each other and film it and
See, mine's
photos.
probably more fun.
Maybe.
What if I just come through dressed in like a giant inflatable dinosaur costume and tackle you instead? Oh no, it's a Kikosaurus Rex! Rah.
All right, I think it's enough. Guys, be careful with these kind of things. Like,
Yeah.
I think we are in a moment right. Kiki and me, we are going up again.
We're
we
back.
were.
We've had a shit time, but we're going
we
up.
had a fucking shit time this week, but I feel today talking about this, we are starting to forget it.
Yeah, you're our therapist today.
And that's it.
Are we okay?
I love you.
I love you too.
You look beautiful today.
I mean, I've got mascara in my eyebrows.
And I love your t-shirt.
Coca-Cola. Sponsor us, Coca-Cola.
Sure. Subscribe, put like, share it.
Comment.
Follow us in our comment. Follow us in our Instagram
And
version of the
our
podcast.
individual Instagram accounts, our individual YouTube
Jorge,
accounts.
Kiki Morris, the blogs. And
Yeah.
See you next week. And I hope we are gonna bring guests soon. All right.
We're so sweaty right now. It's so hot in here. Put the air conditioning on. Bye.